Okay, for Boruto episode 204, it's starting off to a good start with Sasuke and Naruto versus Jigen. We finally got to this moment. I've been reading the manga, so I'm glad to see that we finally reached this point. I also like this new opening. It's a little bit better, especially with displaying Kara that we've been looking forward to see for the past couple of months, or like 2 years, I think. So with the karma, I'm believing that Jigen is going to have a tough time with dealing with Naruto and Sasuke if he can, if they can somehow overcome his strategies. I like how Kashin Koji is just like surveilling and observing from a distance. There's a definite lot of casualties when it comes to the Leaf Shinobi forces. But where's the Anbu Black Ops? That's what I want to know. Why couldn't they just protect the village for a little while and stay and try to counter Jigen? But you know how the nation is, the land of fire, how they gather their forces. It takes time. They definitely were nerfed during this fight throughout Boruto. Neither of them were at their full suits or abilities against Jigen or Ishiki. Obviously, this is because the writers haven't figured out how they were going to pull this off. But definitely, they didn't act like their usual selves in Naruto Shippuden. They seem not to be able to figure out how to use their own powers when they need them. Naruto is one of the best sensory ninjas, literally, in the Leaf Village. When it comes to his Sage mode, he could detect Madara's Limbo, which was an invisible shadow that was supposed to be impenetrable to anyone without the Rinnegan.
Yet, he can't just sense where a shuriken was down on Jigen was. Sasuke couldn't really be able to run out of chakra, given that he can just drain it from others with his Rinnegan. Again, an ability he displays before, yet I'm sure I don't need to remind you of how much of a meme Sasuke running out of chakra is. Again, with Sasuke, why not use the Kurin? It surely is the perfect technique to counter a Karma user, since it calls real lightning, which can't be absorbed, because the technique can only be absorbed if it's chakra based. Yeah. Any other Rinnegan abilities for that matter, in addition to that. So the question lies is, why does Sasuke keep running out of chakra? And it's because he doesn't have the Hagoromo chakra anymore. He's using a Rinnegan with 6 Tomoe and 6 path techniques without chakra capability to continuously utilize these. Kenshiki's movement speed with Sasuke used in one dimension portal says he can use it 3 times before he doesn't have enough chakra to do it again. This means each portal takes about around 30% of Sasuke's chakra. That means Sasuke at 70% of power is equal to Kenshiki. However, Kenshiki is being read by a few other Hokages alongside Gaara, was able to follow Sasuke's movement at the maximum speed, about 70% of his maximum. This also goes against the theory that Sasuke still has the Hagoromo chakra, since he can fight pace with one eye 6-path Madara. If his Sasuke was stronger than before as a team with Hagoromo's chakra, then he should be superior to Madara's speed. This would mean his adult Sasuke at 70% would be relative to one eye 6-path Madara, which can't be true because Kage level shinobi should be able to dodge Madara's attack. Only selected Kage opponents, but that Minato potential or Tobirama, but even that's a stretch to say when it comes to reaction time. Then what about Naruto's KCM chakra mode? to be able to sense negative intent. So he should be able to not only plus with the Sage Mode, should be able to deflect his attack. He shouldn't just get hit and knocked off so quickly. It also had me thinking, considering why Naruto didn't just make a clone of himself and just in the background just like gather as much nature chakra as he possibly could. But I could also see it as a opening, because he would lose some type of focus trying to keep that clone protected. Like he had to buy time for somebody to like get away, because that's what he used. That's when he used the shadow clones as a distraction. Naruto's healing ability, I could agree, it kept him in the fight a little bit longer than Sasuke, and if he were to stop to absorb nature energy, that would have taken far too long. It would leave him open to attacks against him, someone that's already much faster than he already is. With this fight, I think going into it, they was already at a disadvantage with his Otsutsuki power, especially the 10-tail chakra boost that he acquired right before getting into this fight. I think he was way stronger than they originally anticipated when they first encountered him, and he made sure that they wouldn't be able to counter him the same way they did before. I think they just need to analyze his skill level at this point and re-strategize. I still say that Sasuke could still utilize other abilities of the Rinnegan, but I mean, it's a far stretch now, to say the least. It's nice to see this bond that Sasuke and Naruto share, especially after the war. It's very unique in how they respect each other, especially as comrades. But I think with Jigen, they're definitely going to have to rely on each other on their strong points. Sasuke is more tactical and he can strategize at a later time. Naruto is more brute force and a little bit more reckless and straightforward with hand-to-hand combat. So when it comes to coming up with strategies, it's going to have to be Sasuke's expertise that's going to have to come into play for this one. Especially with Kashin watching in surveillance. Boruto, Sadara, Mitsuki, and Kawaki back home, they're clueless of what's going on with Naruto and Jigen. This is going to turn out to be interesting once they figure out what's going on and join the quarrel. Kawaki, I can already tell he has an idea of who's showing up. That's probably why he got that desperate peril looking face. His face just started going real pale in an instant. During this whole fight, I felt like it was just more filling each other out, more or less. I don't think Jigen really felt like he was going to lose this fight, especially with the element of surprise he knew he had with his jutsu. But even being discovered, as long as he could just hold out, he knew that he could overcome Naruto and Sasuke. My whole thought process was, what was the game plan to get past him? Because I feel like combat with taijutsu is just he's not budging. And they know he's not really struggling to withstand their attacks too much without effort. He's actually holding his own against them. But I definitely see that they had a tactic, but I think they need more jutsus under their belt. Like with Jiraiya with the toad, getting him trapped inside the toad, that was a genius idea that they could have tried to exploit. What they did in the previous chapters in Naruto, well, episodes, I mean, in the anime, with Jiraiya selling him into the toad and his Otsutsuki.